Welcome, everyone. My clock has just struck noon here in Chicago, and it is an honor to welcome you on behalf of the Baumhart Center at Loyola University Chicago, where we are on a mission to harness the positive power of business to build a more just, humane, and sustainable world. And we cannot be more thrilled to welcome you on a day where we are honoring three extraordinary leaders in that movement: Cleveland Avenue and the Cafe, Honeywell, and Sweetgreen. I am thrilled on behalf of the Baumhart Center to be your first word here, but as you're going to see on our agenda, you are going to move on to a much better welcome from our president of the university. Then we're going to provide brief context on the awards, but the main event is to present the awards, and you will hear from our awardees about their extraordinary innovations in social and environmental leadership in business. And so with that, let me turn it over to the 24th president of Loyola University Chicago, and a very fitting person to give welcoming remarks because she is an innovator in healthcare, in law, in higher education, in business, and in government, having served from the Department of Defense in high roles to in management consulting. And so it is a pleasure to introduce someone who has been an extraordinary mentor and friend and partner in this work, President Joanne Rooney. Dr. Rooney, let me turn it over to you.
Thanks so much, Seth, for not only that warm welcome, but especially for really being the leader behind so much of what we get to celebrate today. So yes, I'd like to offer my official welcome to the Leading for Good 2021 Conference and Innovator in Social Business Awards ceremony. Welcome to Loyola University Chicago, albeit virtually, where the work of the Baumhart Center exemplifies the work of our Jesuit mission in building a more just, humane, and sustainable world. Thank you, everyone, for joining us today. It means a great deal. And again, thank you, Seth, for all that you are doing. The Baumhart Center has become a leading hub of interdisciplinary dialogue, discussion, and action for advancing social entrepreneurship and socially responsible business. And much of this has to do, Seth, with your leadership as the Baumhart Center's founding director. Since you came to Loyola in 2017, Seth's natural ability to inspire others to embrace new paradigms, to dream, to connect with others and then execute, has built the center into a leading university resource in social entrepreneurship and socially responsible business. Under Seth's leadership, Loyola launched the Baumhart Scholars MBA, a first of its kind program that prepares leaders from the private, government, and social sectors to thrive at the intersection of profit and purpose. Through an ongoing array of interdisciplinary and transdisciplinary education programs and events, Baumhart has engaged more than 15,000 professionals and students from across the world in exploring how to integrate business strategy with social purpose. Loyola is so grateful for Seth's leadership, his expertise, and one would call his joyful approach to business collaboration for the greater good. These Innovator Awards reflect the collaborative spirit that the Baumhart Center focus is on, and especially on ways of working that expand the circle of good. The Innovator Awards are a global interdisciplinary award series that recognizes the people and organizations at the forefront of social innovation in business. I am especially excited to connect you with the awards because they represent the impact and essence of the kind of work all of you are doing in the world. The awards celebrate companies across three categories of innovation. The Social Impact Award for creating workplaces that are themselves forces for good. The Environmental Stewardship Award for organizations who weave sustainability throughout their business model. And the Parkinson Award for enterprises combining profit with a larger social purpose. This work continues to raise in importance every single day. As a country, we are reckoning with our need to deepen our commitment to diversity, equity, inclusion, and sustainability, care for our common home. On behalf of the Loyola University Chicago community, I offer my congratulations and especially my gratitude to this year's Innovator Award recipients. First, Cleveland Avenue, recipient of the Social Impact Award. Honeywell, recipient of the Environmental Stewardship Award. And finally, Sweetgreen, recipient of the Parkinson Award. These awards certainly recognize leaders in social enterprise and also the ways in which the Baumhart Center can connect, educate, and inspire leaders locally and globally around the importance of doing good and doing well and doing it together. We will hear much more about the awards and the recipients in a few moments, but in closing, I want to offer and share a special note of gratitude and deep appreciation to you directly, Seth. You have inspired us, taught us, and set the bar of expectations very high for us to follow. To our award recipients and to all the leaders joining us today, thank you. Your presence is an essential part of this important and ongoing work. And again, congratulations.
Thank you so much, Dr. Rooney. That was a very, kind and generous statement, even more on the center that we have built together. And I want to move us into the awards because we are so excited to be celebrating extraordinary leaders. And I just want to give context behind why we have these awards and what we're intending with them. And the big theory behind these awards, which began a year ago, is that business is changing in the right ways, and more executives than ever before are saying that social and environmental impact is very important to their company strategy, and more employees than ever before are actually expecting companies to have a social and environmental strategy that is core to their enterprise. And so what we wanted to do was begin to hold up these enterprises who could be role models for all of these others who are striving. And the reason we wanted to do this as Loyola is because this is our area of leadership. Father Baumhart, after whom this center is named and who once held the same role that you do, President Rooney, as president of this university, was the leading scholar on the topic of purpose in business. At the same time that Milton Friedman was evangelizing a shareholder-only philosophy, there was a leader in Chicago who was promoting the idea that purpose should be at the center of all profit, and hence his book here in the 1960s, An Honest Profit, which really built the purpose and profit movement. And we have continued that since. And as many of you know, because if you've not been living under a rock, you've heard me quote this many times, the Financial Times did a survey of more than 250 business schools in the world on the topic of social purpose in business education. They found 4 were exemplary in 3 or more areas of leadership: University of Berkeley, Loyola University Chicago, and 2 schools in France. So we were very proud to be part of that, and we are immensely grateful to be continuing the legacy of Father Baumhart. And so as we thought about how we move this moment forward, where people are reckoning with the role of purpose in business, and as that movement has accelerated over the last year, as we've both dealt with a health pandemic that has raised the visibility of inequities, and as we have come to terms with a 402-year-old pandemic of systemic racism that our country and our corporate is only beginning to reckon with, we realize that having role models is more important than ever. And so as Dr. Rooney mentioned, we have role models in 3 areas: in social impact, where we're saying, how can you deliver on a specific goal as a company? Environmental stewardship, where you're looking to develop for the planet. And then the Parkinson Award, named aptly after Robert Parkinson, who was a leader on the topic of higher purpose in business, where you bring it to your entire enterprise. Everything you do for all stakeholders is organized with that thesis in mind. We then had over 75 people that are part of our network, leaders from around the world, nominate companies that they believe would be perfect fits for these awards. And then we had a judging committee comprised of nearly a dozen extraordinary leaders, the editor-in-chief of Entrepreneur Magazine, the EVP of Northern Trust, the senior director at McKinsey, the head of the YMCA of the USA, the former CEO of Walgreens and the MacArthur Foundation, the original founding leader of Obama's Social Innovation Office. So we had people that were coming from all sectors, that were coming from all different experiences, and who were looking for one goal in mind. Who are the businesses that are truly moving the needle for social and environmental impact, and that can serve as role models for the rest of us? And so these are our honorees, and we want to move right into honoring them. And you're going to hear a video on each, and then you're going to hear a presentation that includes one of our rising leaders in the Baumhart Scholars Program present on why they are so inspired by these role models. And then finally, you will hear from the role models themselves. And we are so excited to have them here in the virtual room with us. And so with that, I'm going to play our first video to present the award to Cleveland Avenue and the Cleveland Avenue Foundation for Education. Oh, let's try that one more time.
Hi, I'm Liz Thompson.
And I'm Don Thompson, and we're very excited to be receiving the Social Impact Award from Loyola University. The whole notion of Cleveland Avenue was based upon the philosophy that if you can give entrepreneurs the support that they need, amazing things will happen. Cast us as the Cleveland Avenue State of Illinois Urban Success Fund. We have some basic historical barriers, challenges, gaps, biases, whatever. Cast us is intended to bridge that. Matter of fact, not bridge it, it's intended to blow a hole through the middle of it. We call it Cast Us because the fund was intended to engage and include those who historically have not been included. So women, Black, and brown entrepreneurs tend to get much less venture capital financing in the single digits. And the representation of those entrepreneurs is absolutely huge. So Cast Us is our attempt to provide funding to those entrepreneurs. 75% on the south and west sides of the city, 75% to Black and Latinx entrepreneurs, and 50% to women entrepreneurs. There's a lot of these entrepreneurs out there. They just haven't had the capital. And we're sure that we're going to be able to dispel all the biases, stereotypes, myths, and have very viable businesses that are grown out of this effort.
Don and I had been working together to give back as much as possible for years. And so we created the cafe, or the Cleveland Avenue Foundation for Education. Our foundation focuses primarily in 3 areas: college access and success for young people, career attainment, and then professional development, and last, Black philanthropy and bringing more Black philanthropists to the table.
A lot of what Liz has really done is really so powerful relative to the cafe, is it is really an extension of our lives. So when we were at Purdue, we were recruited through the Minority Engineering Program. Had it not been for that program, we may not have ever gone to Purdue. And so a lot of the things that we do now really started with someone having given to us. And we're now trying to pass that forward.
It's really important to invest in education because it's one of the most significant levers that we can pull in order to have impact on young people really across their entire lives. So when you invest in educating a young person, you are contributing to society for the next several decades. For us, it really is both strategic, it's personal, but it is one of those areas where when you invest today, the returns you see last a lifetime.
Well, for those of you who are seeing the chat, it is full with admiration for Don and Liz Thompson and their extraordinary leadership for Chicago and for so many around this world. And one of the people who deeply admires them is Jonathan McGee, who is the Deputy Director of Regional Economic Development at the Illinois Department of Commerce and Economic Opportunity in the Pritzker administration. He is also a Baumhart Scholar MBA candidate. And so, Jonathan, let me turn it over to you to formally present this award to two people that all of us deeply admire. Oh, and Jonathan, you are on mute, which is a rare moment for Jonathan because he is not quite. Oh, but you know what? That is my fault. There we go. I think you should now be off mute.
Thank you, Seth. It wasn't letting me unmute myself, but greetings. My name is Jonathan McGee, current Baumhart Scholar at the Quinlan School of Business here at Loyola University, Chicago. Growing up on the south side of Chicago, I witnessed firsthand how talent was distributed evenly across the city, but unfortunately, opportunity was not. I sought to become a Baumhart Scholar because what I realized was that every entrepreneur, especially entrepreneurs of color, should have the resources, support, and opportunities to succeed economically. The vision of the Baumhart Scholars MBA is to not only cultivate the next generation of diverse social change makers who thrive in this evolving business landscape, but who also shape it. Cleveland Avenue's mission embodies not only Baumhart's mission, but that of equity, which will ensure that entrepreneurs of color, especially those from underserved areas, can reach parity. Through the Cleveland Avenue's State Treasurer Urban Success Initiative, or CAST-US, Cleveland Avenue is committed to addressing the capital gap for underrepresented entrepreneurs in underserved communities in Chicago. They are proving that investing in and supporting Black, Latinx, and women entrepreneurs seeking venture capital support will drive social impact and begin addressing the racial wealth gap. What truly is remarkable about Cleveland Avenue's work is that they know they cannot do it alone. We learn in our Baumhart classes that coordination, collaboration, and communication among the public, private, and nonprofit sectors is critical to driving economic opportunity and systemic change, and Cleveland Avenue does just that. I'm inspired by Don and Liz's personal story, courageous leadership, and unrelenting grit, because it serves as a roadmap for myself and so many other Black leaders from Chicago looking to drive equitable change. From serving as the first Black CEO of McDonald's and establishing a foundation for education here in the city, Liz and Don are truly equity champions, committed to the amelioration of underserved communities of color across the city. Cleveland Avenue is just getting started, and I am personally honored to have the distinct pleasure of providing Cleveland Avenue with the Leading for Good Social Impact Award. Cleveland Avenue is a national benchmark for success and is defining what social impact truly is, but most importantly, what real equity looks like. I know I speak for my Baumhart Scholars cohort, communities of color across Chicago, and most importantly, the entrepreneurs who benefit from Cleveland Avenue's programs when I say how proud we are to recognize Cleveland Avenue with this Social Impact Award. Thank you for your unwavering leadership and commitment to Chicago. Congratulations, Don and Liz. Thank you.
And Don and Liz, we now want to welcome your words of acceptance and just express our hearty congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Wow. First of all, Jonathan, you honor us in a way that you don't even know. And we thank you for that. And Seth, thank you. And to the entire Baumhart Center and Loyola University for this. This is an unbelievable and a heartwarming award for Liz and I. And as you saw in the video, you know, Liz and I started Cleveland Avenue because we had a vision to create more opportunities. And we're doing it through our investments and our engagement in CAST-US and the 1954 project. And that's just two of the ventures that we think can help to advance all of us. You know, it's a blessing to help more people who have every bit as strong a work ethic, every bit as strong an idea, competency, capability, but sometimes they just lack those enabling resources. And many people over the years, I've heard them say that they can't find talented Black and brown and women entrepreneurs who are investment ready. Interesting words, but we're proving that there are winners of all backgrounds, come from all places, all different experiences, but you have to look. You just have to look across the landscape, and you have to have eyes and ears and experiences that are not blocking lenses, but lenses for you to see their brilliance. Our relationships try to bring communities together for mutual success in a world where large and small companies can coexist, where governmental authorities and figures and institutions can coexist with venture capital groups. Family foundations can exist with other organizations that are supportive of the same thing that their family foundations have tried to support to advance people of all colors and backgrounds. So we have proven examples of supporting innovative entrepreneurs in our food and beverage funds at Cleveland Avenue, companies like Beyond Meat and Farmer's Fridge, Bartesian, Somers, Red Bay Coffee. And all of those are thriving and represent great opportunities of doing good and doing well, which we think is so important. And we continue to identify, invest in, and support even more talented entrepreneurs in companies like IO Foods here in Chicago, Whole and Free here, Lift Up Enterprises, Gray Matter Analytics, and more through the Cast Us Initiative, which includes a $70 million investment fund, which you've heard about already. It's also being led by Andy Zopp, a tremendous woman and leader of color who has been dedicated her life to this kind of endeavor. And I want to thank our incredible Cleveland Avenue team, because this we share with them. All of them are helping these entrepreneurs succeed with resources, capital, partnerships, and just being there. And we are just getting started, Jonathan. You're right. There's much to be done. So what I'm going to do to start it is turn it over to the much, much better half, my wife and my girlfriend for over 40 years, Liz, whose leadership of the Cleveland Avenue Foundation for Education and the 1954 Project have just been absolutely inspirational.
Thank you. Thank you, sweetie pie. And Jonathan, man, wow. Thank you for that incredible introduction. Seth, thank you. Dr. Rooney, thank you. Thank you to everyone, even the folks in the chat box that's blowing up. Trust me, I want to type my responses to y'all right now, but I'm going to be professional. But just know I'm with you right now in that chat box. But on behalf of the Cleveland Avenue Foundation for Education, thanks to all of you. You know, Don and I have dedicated our lives to address the gaps that we face and the gaps that many others continue to face because of longstanding inequities in our system. And because this is our life's work, we are so careful to never forget our origins. And that's why, for those of you that are wondering, that's why both our company and our foundation are named Cleveland Avenue, after the street we were both raised on, or blocks from each other, by the way. We always like to center on how we got here, but more importantly, how we can maximize our journeys in order to help as many people as possible. The research is clear. Black leaders are less likely to receive unrestricted funding in the nonprofit arena and received almost 25% less capital than their peers. And so our work at the Cafe and the 1954 Project will ensure that Black leaders will have funding that provides unrestricted operating support for their organizations to run smoothly, to innovate, to grow, and to thrive. And hopefully you saw the faces of our first cohort of leaders as we recognized them at our 1954 inaugural Luminary Awards last week, where each of 5 extraordinary leaders received $1 million in grants. Providing this level of transformational support is critical because it's not only the research that informs us, but it's also our own life experiences and our careers that have shown us that the connection of how education can change the outcomes for all children. Look, what you need to know about me and Don is that we are 2 entrepreneurs with 2 different expressions of one shared vision. Together, Cleveland Avenue and the Cafe support educators, social innovators, and entrepreneurs by providing them with the resources they need to be creative and innovative without having finances as a barrier. We believe in investing in the talent that is abundant in our communities and the genius of all backgrounds of people because it brings a richness to our work. And so we want everyone listening to know that you have the power to align your businesses with your values. We want to be an engine that helps to create more educators, social innovators, and entrepreneurs. And finally, you heard us saying in the video, but it's worth repeating because it's both strategic and personal. When you invest in young people, in entrepreneurs, and social innovators, when you invest in them today, the returns will last a lifetime. So thank you from the bottom of our hearts for this recognition. We really sincerely appreciate it.
Thank you all so much.
Don and Liz, I share the goosebump moments that many in the chat are talking about. That was beautiful, and certainly another affirmation of why we are so thrilled to have you as our social impact awardees. And we are going to move on now to continued inspiration, because we are thrilled to be presenting our Environmental Stewardship Award to Honeywell, and we're going to be presenting that video right now. Oh, I'm going to try that again and get it right this time. Clearly, 14 months into this pandemic, technology is still a learned behavior. Hold on, I have it.
My name is Shane Tejarati, and my role at Honeywell is President and CEO of the Global High Growth Regions. Honeywell is a technology company that applies our technologies to make human life better, safer, more secure, and more environmentally sustainable. Honeywell is totally committed to the issues of our environment. More than 50% of all the technologies that we develop are directly related to energy and environment. We've already helped customers avoid discharging the equivalent of nearly 200 million metric tons of CO2 into the atmosphere. We have achieved about a 70% improvement in energy efficiency. We've had more than 5,700 greenhouse gas and energy efficiency projects completed since 2010 alone, and 128 million gallons of water saved in water-stressed regions. But we want to do more. We want to bring these incredible technologies to the market because we are part of the community. I, myself, all of our employees and our shareholders, we all live in the communities in which we operate. We are empowering the regions such as China, such as India, to innovate locally as well, local for local, because the solution that you might develop, say, in America may not directly address the issues that people are facing, say, in India or in the Middle East. So being a totally global company allows us to come up with innovations that really matter to people everywhere in the world. Companies like Honeywell can set a trend by themselves being environmental stewards, but also because we can help our thousands of clients around the world reduce their carbon emissions and be environmental stewards. This has a huge multiplying effect. So business must care because we're building a better society for today and for tomorrow.
Well, I talked earlier about how proud we are to be leading in social purpose and business education. Another extraordinary place of leadership at our university is sustainability. We are one of the leading schools for sustainability in the world. And the reason is my colleague, Nancy Tuckman, who is dean. And we need to update this slide because it should now be Loyola's School of Environmental Sustainability, because thanks to her and her extraordinary leadership, that institute has become a school in the last few months. And so, Dean Tuckman, let me turn it over to you, because this award is presented in partnership with the School of Environmental Sustainability. Dean Tuckman. Tuckman, you may be on mute.
Sorry about that.
Perfect. We hear you now.
Seth. Thank you. As Seth mentioned, our School of Environmental Sustainability partners with the Baumhart Center in selecting and presenting the Environmental Stewardship Award each year to a company that demonstrates leadership in innovation and real solutions to our global environmental challenges. And this year's recipient is Honeywell, as you just saw in the brief video, which provided us a window into the significant contributions that Honeywell and President and CEO Shane Tejarati have made to global environmental stewardship. And this is so important because Honeywell is an enormous organization and has tremendous reach around the world. So I want to congratulate and thank Shane and Honeywell for prioritizing environmental sustainability, including climate change and water security, in over 50% of all the technologies that the company develops. The leverage that these large global reaching companies like Honeywell have with businesses up both their supply chains and down the waste stream is really enormous. And Honeywell positively influences other businesses and clients and communities by exemplifying the importance of social and environmental responsibility through business operations, innovations, and leadership. So congratulations to you, Shane, and to Honeywell, and thank you for setting the example for businesses and how they can contribute to solving our global environmental crises. And now I'm pleased to introduce Baumhart scholar Amaya Aranzabal-Torre, who will speak about Honeywell as a role model inspiring the next generation of business leaders to think and act more ambitiously on environmental sustainability. Amaya?
Thank you, Nancy. So after what has been a challenging year for all of us, we have learned that technology is and will continue to be a huge part of our lives. Companies need to use technology to grow, innovate, and provide better services for their customers and clients, but also to build better and stronger communities in the countries where they operate, a commitment true to Honeywell's core values for the past 100 years. In Shane's own words, Honeywell uses technology to make human life better, safer, more secure, and more environmentally sustainable. Today, Honeywell has proven its commitment to the environment with more than 50% of all their technologies directly related to energy and environment. Through innovation, they provide their clients with technologies that will help improve energy efficiency and reduce environmental impact. The innovation that Honeywell has led in the last years is impressive. And above all, its commitment to positively impacting our communities has made of Honeywell a true agent of change. As Baumhart scholars, we are drawn to companies that have managed to find the intersection between profit and purpose and navigate in such a way that in their everyday operations, they are making a difference. Speaking from a personal note, learning how Honeywell sees the importance of involving the community as stakeholders inspires me in a journey to work towards a better future. I now speak for the entire Baumhart scholars when I say what a huge honor it is to have Shane with us to receive the Environmental Stewardship Award. As President and CEO of Global High Growth Regions, Shane has led business expansion in high growth regions of the world, where impactful leadership is most needed. His commitment towards community building and technology development that matters for each country is an inspiration and demonstrates how leaders can leverage business for social good. So congratulations, Shane, and congratulations, Honeywell.
And so, Shane, we will turn it over to you for your remarks with utter appreciation for the leadership that you've shown. And I'll just share personally that among the conversations I've had over the last year, my conversation when Sonal connected us and I met you for the first time was one of the most extraordinary because you showed this real commitment to moving from what you called success to significance and really making your life's work about how business could build a better world. So we could not imagine someone more aligned with our values. Let me turn it over to you for your acceptance.
Thank you. Thank you, Seth. Thank you, Nancy, Amaya, and all the people who have been involved in creating these awards and in recognizing companies and leaders. I'm very humbled to be in such company, and especially to hear Don and Liz was a humbling and very touching experience. Thank you for sharing your story. I recognize that receiving such an award is both an honor, but also an inflection point of feeling humbled that many other people would probably deserve to get this award for environmental stewardship. But it's no one company or one person that can make a big impact, but the collection of many people around the world that would finally make an impact on the issue of the environment. So I take this award with great pride, and I've received the award already, and it's I display it with great pride, recognizing that it recognizes the issue more than just a person or a company. This is a global issue that all humanity is facing. Honeywell is truly humbled and honored to receive this 2021 Innovator Award for Environmental Stewardship. Honeywell prides itself for being at the forefront of social innovation in businesses, making an impact to people's lives through high quality and scalable innovations. These innovations are especially critical and important as the world continues to struggle with the immediate effect of this pandemic, which all of us have been living as citizens of this world, the challenges posed by climate change, and other ongoing societal issues, which Don and Liz are living examples of. Honeywell is a global software industrial technology, a leader which is committed to solving some of the world's toughest challenges, whether it's recovering from the pandemic or helping the world work toward carbon neutrality. We ourselves recently put our money where our mouth is and announced that we will become carbon neutral as a global Fortune 100 company by 2035. Our environmental and sustainability goals are fully supported by our board of directors and throughout our leadership ranks, reinforced by our rigorous innovation efforts and robust governance processes. For example, the company has already reduced the greenhouse gas intensity of its own operations and facilities by more than 90% since I joined the company in 2004. We have achieved about 70% improvement in energy efficiency since that time, and we have completed nearly 5,700 greenhouse gas and energy efficiency projects since 2010. We have saved 128 million gallons of water in water-stressed regions from over 150 projects since 2013 alone. These are real measurable things that companies as humble as we are, we can do in building the future building blocks of a more sustainable environment. In addition to sustainably addressing our own environmental impact, Honeywell supports its customers' sustainability goals with innovative new products that reduce greenhouse gas emissions, saves energy, and supports the adoption of renewable energy sources. Nowhere is this more important than in high growth regions of the world. They are where a lot of the carbon footprint of humanity is being imprinted on the planet, such as China, India, Middle East, Africa, Central and Eastern Europe, Latin America, for example. In China, we work with Universal Studios Beijing, for example, in an upcoming Universal theme park in China that has adopted our Solstice technology, refrigerant technology, to lower the global warming potential. In India, we power the India's Auric and Faridabad smart city projects that significantly reduce the traffic and emergency response times and road congestion, and also leads into pedestrian safety and crime prevention. In South America, our UOP eco-fining process was really selected to convert vegetable oils and inedible animal fat into renewable diesel and jet fuel. These are renewable diesel and jet fuel that actually are drop-in usage as opposed to and non-corrosive, and actually have far, far lower emissions than traditional fuels. In the Middle East, we've been awarded a contract to install integrated building management system, for example, in the Mosawat medical services in hospitals. These and other things that we do around the world, like working with King Salman International Complex in Saudi Arabia, developed by Aramco, to really make a difference in this transition period from traditional energies to more sustainable and renewable energy. I personally feel honored and proud that our efforts are delivering on the social and environmental purpose of our business and have been widely recognized, including with today's really humbling award. We are glad and humbled to serve as an example in inspiring the broader array of businesses to innovate for both business purpose and the social impact. These have increasingly become one and the same. This is not just the expectation of the community, but it's the responsibility of truly inspiring and enlightened leadership. I also want to congratulate the Walmart Center for the great work of your organization in doing this promotion and playing a clear role that business is in the service of a just, humane, and sustainable world. At Honeywell, we believe the future is what we make it. The active partnership and collaboration of industries, businesses, governments, and organizations like the Baumart Center will be essential to ensure we create a sustainable future. Today's award is a milestone in our shared journey, and we look forward to more participation and more partnership and collaboration in making this world safer, healthier, and more sustainable. I thank you all, and once again, on behalf of every one of us at Honeywell, we are humbled and truly thankful.
Shane, thank you. That was beautifully said, and even more beautiful in content, because what you are doing is changing our world. And if this pandemic has brought our eyes to anything, it is that our world is fragile and interconnected, and we need to treat that collective humanity and Earth with care. And you are a role model, and hopefully will inspire many others with your example.
Thank you.
We are now going to move on to our Parkinson Award, our final award today, and I will present the video for Sweetgreen right now.
My name is Jonathan Neiman, and I'm the co-founder and CEO of Sweetgreen. We started Sweetgreen in our dorm rooms in 2007. Myself and my two co-founders really had a problem in our own lives, which is we couldn't find a healthy, affordable, delicious place to eat. And as we looked around, we realized that it was a massive problem in the world. And so what started off as a goal of solving that problem in our own life and opening a tiny little 500 square foot salad shack right off campus has turned into this platform where we're disrupting traditional fast food. And we're doing that by taking a full stack approach to building a different kind of restaurant company. Sweetgreen's first core value is win-win-win. The idea is to create solutions that are wins for our customers, our communities, and the company. We believe that there's no such thing as a successful business in an unsuccessful community. Sustainability has been at the core of Sweetgreen from day one. That starts with our menu. So we design our menu always with an eye towards soil health and carbon removal. Today, Sweetgreen's carbon footprint is about a third of the restaurant industry average. We've committed to reducing our carbon footprint by over 50% by 2027. We have found that our commitment to our mission is the number one thing that drives our team members to want to work for Sweetgreen and stay with Sweetgreen. And it is also one of the top reasons our consumers love us. So what you're seeing even more so today than ever is each new generation cares more about mission-driven companies, both as consumers and as potential employees. And so this is a very important part of our value proposition. Sweetgreen has a best-in-class parental leave policy. We offer every single person that works at Sweetgreen 5 months parental leave. We think by offering this to our team members, yes, it's a nice thing to do, it's a good and right thing to do, but by doing it, we believe it will be a more attractive place to work. I believe that business should have a higher purpose because it can make a more successful business. It's something that consumers want and provides greater sustainability and resiliency as the world shifts. And so today I'm very humbled to be receiving the Parkinson Award for Profit and Purpose from Loyola University.
Well, so this is a very special award to us because it is named after Bob Parkinson, the extraordinary leader in purpose and business, and a former chair of our board, and someone who personally was a great mentor to me and so many others in this virtual room. And we just wanted to welcome, and it's going to be recorded because of something that came up today, Rob Parkinson, to share his thoughts on his dad's legacy and why Sweetgreen is such a wonderful fit.
Thank you, Seth, for that introduction. As a Loyola alum and member of the Parkinson family, I'm deeply honored to be here today to present the Parkinson Award for Profit with a Purpose. When the Baumart Center was founded, my dad's hope was that Loyola University would be at the forefront of bringing together business leaders from around the country to focus on sustainability. It was his belief that a business that focused on the betterment of its employees, customers, and communities was inherently a more valuable business. Here we are several years later, and while he's no longer with us, I know he would be proud of the Baumhart Center and what it has come to represent. My dad was also born on a farm in downstate Illinois, so this year's award recipient would definitely have received his vote. Earlier this year, Seth convened a group of local business leaders to serve as judges for this award ceremony. The group was presented with a slate of candidates, all of which were evaluated on their quality and scale of innovation, depth of impact, and commitment to leadership. After deliberation, the judges felt that Sweetgreen best embodied these values. From minimizing its carbon footprint to its focus on healthy product for its customers and leading its industry and benefits for its employees, Sweetgreen's holistic approach to sustainability made it stand out from a pool of very qualified candidates and is a company that truly operates at the intersection of profit. With that, I'm pleased to present this year's Parkinson Award to Jonathan Neiman, the CEO of Sweetgreen. Congratulations, Jonathan.
And it's not only the judges who felt strongly about Sweetgreen, it is also the next generation of leaders. And so Margaret Scarametti is one of those leaders. She is a Baumhart Scholar MBA candidate. She is also in this world of social and environmental responsibility as a senior manager of community engagement and social impact at Morn and Salt. Margaret, let me turn it over to you for the final presentation of the award. And let me unmute so that you can actually share your thoughts. My apologies again.
No,
almost every
you're
one of
fine.
these is me. It's the people know how to unmute. I don't know how to do my job, but let me turn it over, Margaret.
Thank you, Seth, and thank you for outing me right from the start as a complete Sweetgreen fangirl. So here at the Baumhart Center, you all have heard today, Seth and Emily have really created a destination for students from all walks of life to learn how to build and lead businesses that are ethical and responsible and sustainable. And a critical part of that experience for us is really seeing firsthand the trailblazers who are challenging norms and paving the way for others. So in the food and restaurant industry, I really think there is no company more dynamic in this work than Sweetgreen. Through their commitment to make healthy, affordable, environmentally sustainable food easily accessible, Jonathan and his team took what is seemingly a simple idea, right, and used it to transform the future of food. So through their social impact work, where they lead and think beyond consumers to help future generations create healthier lives, they're reimagining supply chains literally from the ground up to build sustainability into their business. And they support employees with holistic benefits like you heard about that generate value across their footprint while fostering an incredible sense of belonging. And in doing all this, I know they've made me question, and I hope they've made you question too, why should we think of impact work as a separate arm of the business when literally your entire company can be designed to drive good at scale? And what a fundamental shift in thinking for students of business like those of us in the Baumhart Scholars Program, and for all of us really. So whether you are a new convert ready to make your first custom creation, or like me, a loyal fan, please join me in congratulating Jonathan and his team. I know I speak for all of the Baumhart Scholars and everyone here at the center when I say how proud we are to recognize Sweetgreen's incredible work.
Wow. And so Jonathan, we turn it over to you.
Well, hello everyone. My name is Jonathan Neiman. I'm incredibly humbled by this award, and the words shared about this is, I mean, you got me a little bit emotional hearing what everyone is saying. And so thank you for everyone on the chat for the Sweetgreen love and loyalty as well. You know, Sweetgreen started almost 14 years ago in 2007. Myself and my two co-founders just had a vision for a different kind of food system. It didn't make sense why the food that 50 million Americans a day were eating was food that was quite honestly not great for them or great for the environment. And we imagined a world where it could be different. You know, we were students at Georgetown, and at Georgetown, a Jesuit university, there was a philosophy there which said, the philosophy was to be in service of both business and society. And so from the very beginning, we designed Sweetgreen around this mission of connecting people to real food. And with that, our first core value is win-win-win. And so with everything we do, we look for solutions where customer, the community, and the company win. And I think that the key to us doing this, and what I tell people on my team every day, is that mission and impact needs to be integrated into the business model. It needs to be something that makes us stronger and more profitable. If it's actually not making us more money, it's not done the right way. There is a way to make an impact and have that strengthen your business. There is a virtuous cycle in how we do that. And so for us, we try to find that creative tension around all of the decisions we make. And of course, what allows us to do it oftentimes is the time frame in which we look at. If we measure things on a quarterly basis or even a yearly basis, it's very hard to show how those decisions and investments play out. But if you expand your time horizon, as we've done, and we think about building a multi-generational brand, those sorts of investments make a whole lot of sense. So we're really humbled to be here and accept this award. For me, we hope to change the food system, and with that, help change the health of this country and the world. But more so, my personal goal from a leadership perspective has always been to start to help other companies to think about how mission can be integrated into their business, and how this idea of conscious capitalism or stakeholder capitalism, or as I call it, win-win-win, can be more broadly accepted as a way of doing business that is both good for the world and good for business. So with that, very, very humbled. I want to thank you all for such an honor. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jonathan. And I'll just say that hearing you is such a perfect testament to the Parkinson Award, because another person who always talked about win-win-wins was Bob Parkinson himself. And he would be so proud to be sharing his name with you and with Sweetgreen. And we are so grateful for how you are continuing on that legacy of profit and purpose together. And so with that, let me say that we are so proud of all of our innovators. We are so grateful to be associated with you. And most of all, we are so excited for how your role model can shape our future. And I want to turn it over to the chair of our advisory board, Paul Fisher, who is the reason we have these awards. He was the big vision behind this center from the start, along with Bob and others. And we are so grateful for his role in all that we do. Paul, can I hand it over to you for closing remarks?
There we are. Well, those words are certainly too kind, Seth. Listen, I want to just say on behalf of the board of the center, congratulations to all of you for being what you are, succeeding because you've innovated in the service of good. I honestly believe that business can change the world, and that maybe business is the only catalyst that can, because business touches all of our lives, and so many businesses touch the entire world. I think why corporations? Well, I would argue that, of course, corporations seek profit, but the only profit that's sustainable is profit that actually serves purpose. If you want to attract talent, investment, counterparties, new customers, you have to be thinking about good. And if you really want a successful business, good has to move to the front of strategy and be an equal partner with making money. Now, all of us were taught at some point in our lives that good is its only reward. I would argue good is rewarded with better margins. And there's nothing selfish about saying so, because if we do good, we are making more money. So often I hear that only the shareholders matter. And of course, Milton Friedman started that way back when I was at the University of Chicago. But I think we all know that that's not true. If you're worried about your shareholders, then you have to be worried about the things that we're talking about today. And I've never thought of a business or been presented with a business where you can't build good into what you're doing and do so profitably. So we just close that the world is certainly a tough place. If you're like me, it's really difficult to pick up the paper every morning and look at all the problems that we have to confront in so many areas. But I would say thank you to these innovators, because their ideas aren't just good, but they show us that innovation matters, and that innovation, in fact, will carry us forward. I will invite all of you here today, whether you're a CEO or starting out in your career like the Baumhart Scholars are, that if you carry the idea back that purpose is profit, I think we can begin to change the world. Maybe we just inch forward, but if we inch forward, we can start to walk, and eventually we'll be running toward a more just world. So then thank all of you for attending, and thank you, the awardees, for your good work and be an example for all of us. Thank you very much.
Thank you all. Enjoy your afternoons, and congratulations again to all of our awardees. Goodbye, everyone.
Thank you.